Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. I would like to share my experience and my kids' experience with me in India at the party. He visited India a long time back, like 5 years ago, when my grandma was very serious and on her bed. So we visited at that time. And in all these 5 years, I never got a chance to go back and visit them because all of my in-laws and other family members are here. So I didn't want to go there and waste my time. Actually, I call them, but it's okay. But this time, my sister's daughter is going to marry, and other cousin's daughter also going to marry. So we planned for that one for few months, and finally we reached over there just the day before their marriages. And my kid was tired at that time. We reached over there in the morning, just before the marriage day, one day before the marriage day. He wanted to sleep, but he has to do some other things like buying the traditional clothes like that. So I took him to the shopping. He was okay because it's night time here and that's the first day in India. So he could adjust on that day without sleeping for that day. And he played with one of my cousins, like chess and all these things, and slept on that night little bit. And we went from Hyderabad to our native place. At that place, there are not many people who can speak fluent English. They can understand, but they can't speak very fluent English. Most of my cousins are like high school graduates, some college graduates. They never worked and they stay at home in the same town. So he couldn't enjoy that much. He has to look for kids. There are 2-3 kids, and they are also like 5-year-old, like 5-6-year-old ones. And some of them are college graduates. They can speak, but my kid wants to play with the little ones. He's like 9, he has 10 almost. So, and the timings he couldn't adjust in one day. He wanted to sleep, and the party is going on. The house was filled with all the people and wearing different kinds of dresses, and the weather was hot and humid compared to this Michigan's weather. There is no place to sleep comfortably. So he decided to play with the other kids. He played a lot, and finally, afternoon, the lunch started. They were serving lunch. All the kids are in the queue, standing with plates, and it was rush, like 200 kids are there. And he didn't like to overtake, he wants to stay in the queue. The other children didn't care about the queue, standing in the queue, and he got mad at them. because they were coming and taking whatever they want and leaving. And my kid didn't like that kind of behavior, and he was little bit frustrated. And he already was in frustration, and he was sleepy, and at that time he didn't like to hold his plate. One person looked at him and gave him something to eat, but he didn't like that. And he got some yellow rice on his plate. He wanted to eat that one with spoon. The spoons were not there. They ran out of these spoons because there are little ones who uses spoons. And he stomped his foot on the ground, and he said, "Why you didn't have any spoon here?" And my sister whispered to me, "Go dear, your Anand is little bit frustrated. Go there and convince him, like you have to eat with hand if you don't have any spoons or like that." And I went there, and he looked at me and said, "You don't know that they have no spoons? How can I eat here?" One of my cousins said, "Oh, English boy, here you don't find any spoons. You have to eat with hand only." Then his frustration was elevated. He said, "I don't want to stay here. I want to go back to Dad. Leave me alone." I said, "No, we had to stay and look at the marriage, all those arrangements, look at those ones." And he said, "These people are making fun of me. I don't like this kind of behavior." And he left that plate with that rice on the table, and he immediately went to his room. And at that time the room was without anybody, and he slept on the bed, and he couldn't eat anything. I felt bad about that. But next time when you go to some other new places with kids, make sure that you have necessary items with you. Carry with you all the items they need and make them comfortable. I had hypothesis like my sister can comfort him here, but my hypothesis was wrong at that time because she was busy with her daughter's marriage. Don't imagine like that. Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, would you please take 1 minute?